It's late. It's a kind of late where everything is still. It's safe, predictable. Store lights glow against the dark Kansas sky, and the hum of a parking lot feels ordinary, even comforting, even. But sometimes danger doesn't arrive with noise or warning. Sometimes it's there. It's waiting. Tonight's Fatal Files episode takes us to Johnson County, Kansas, the United States of America. It's June the 2nd, 2007. A quick trip to Target will change everything. An 18-year-old girl and a night would change everything forever. This is the story of Kelsey Smith. For the full written article, go to medium.com. Links are below in the description box. So who was Kelsey? Kelsey Smith was born on the 3rd of May, 1989, to Greg Allen and Misty Smith. She was the third of 4 children in a close, loving family. From a young age, Kelsey stood out. She was cheerful and bright and ongoing in a way that made people feel instantly comfortable around her. And when people said she was intelligent, they actually meant it. She cared deeply about others. She cared deeply about fairness. If her brothers received something, she wanted them to share equally. Collaboration was natural to her, and she wasn't selfish at all. She wasn't competitive in a cruel way, and she was the kind of person who lifted others with her. She was also fearless when challenged. She loved challenges. If somebody told her she couldn't do something, well, she'd push it down and she'd try harder and she'll go, watch me. So, like many others, Kelsey had school dreams and she loved music. In high school, Kelsey thrived. She loved performing on stage. She played the clarinet in a band. She joined theatre, choir, writing classes, art, and she did track and field, and she was very good at it. She was everywhere, always talking, always laughing, always involved. Kelsey graduated on May the 24th, 2007. Her future felt wide open, and at first she wanted to become a doctor, but later she shifted her focus on veterinary science. She still wanted to help, still wanted a life of medicine, but now she dreamt of caring for animals. At the time, she worked part-time at a local movie theatre, saving money and planning for university that autumn. Everything about her suggested forward motion, hope, direction, and possibility. And around about this time, Kelsey was dating a young man called John. Their relationship had been so strong for about 6 months, and he deeply loved her. He loved her kindness, her intelligence, and the way she lived life to the full. John wasn't a stranger to her family. He joined them for dinners. He bonded with the father, particularly over sports. Everyone believed he was good for her. Kelsey loved celebrating special moments. 6 months together mattered to her, so she decided to buy him a gift to celebrate that 6-month mark. Oh, it's so cute, isn't it? And with a simple gesture and just a quick trip, she decided to go to Target, but something she had done so many times before. It wasn't any big deal. This special occasion she wanted to mark. So on the 2nd of June began like any other Saturday. Her mother attended a wedding. Kelsey worked a shift at the AMC Theatre. Later, she spent time with her father and sister at an amusement park. Early evening, around 6 p.m., she decided to go to Target to buy John that very planned present. She asked her sister to come along, but she couldn't. She was too busy. She had other things to do. So Kelsey took her sister's 1987 black Buick Regal and went by herself. It was daylight and it was early evening and it was routine. Nothing felt actually dangerous. Security footage later showed her entering the store, browsing calmly and selecting items and then checking out. She wore shorts and a light pink tank top. She even called her mother and said that she'd be home soon, and it was the last normal moment anyone would have with her. And then minutes passed. Her boyfriend called her and there was no answer. It was very unusual. Kelsey always picked up and her parents called as well, and then nothing. Concern turned into fear. Her father and sister drove around searching nearby stores and parking lots, hoping they'd simply find the car and laugh about and worry later. But instead, they found the Buick, parked in a dimly lit Macy's lot, which she shouldn't have been there. She wasn't going there. But inside the car was her purse, her wallet, the purchase from Target, her most planned gift for John on their 6 months anniversary. But everything was there except Kelsey. Her phone was missing, and there was no obvious signs of a struggle. There was no broken glass, there was no damage, but something was terribly wrong and police were called. Investigators reviewed security footage from Target. At first, nothing stood out. Kelsey entered the shop, she paid, she walked out, and then they noticed something quite chilling. She had parked next to a large pickup truck. Moments after she went inside, a man appeared behind it. He followed her into the store. He seemed to keep his distance and he seemed to watch her, but Kelsey never noticed, and outside she placed items into her car. Something moved from the side when officers slowed the footage right down, frame by frame. They actually saw what happened. Everything became clear. The footage showed that she had been forced into her own vehicle. Her car later appeared in another parking lot. A man stepped out, but not Kelsey. Somebody else drove her car to the Macy's parking lot. Now, police said that she had been abducted. This is what they believed, and they were basing their investigations on it. Her family printed missing posters, friends searched neighborhoods, volunteers flooded the area, and everybody wanted her home, of course. Investigators turned to her cell phone for answers, but obtaining local data took time. The time felt unbearable. When the information finally came through, it showed her phone had last pinged near Longview Lake, which was miles away, across state lines, which is a worrying factor. Search teams rushed to the area. It took less than an hour, and then they found her. Kelsey had been taken into a wooded area, assaulted, and strangled. She was only 18 years old. Investigators went back to the footage because they had to identify this killer. The pickup truck appeared again. Images were released to the public. Tips poured in. One call changed everything. A woman said the man looked like her neighbor. So police moved quickly. He was arrested on the evening of June 6. Fingerprints evidence linked him directly to Kelsey's car. Under pressure, he confessed. He admitted seeing her in the parking lot, following her, forcing her at gunpoint, driving her into a remote location, and killing her so she couldn't report him. It was a random act, a calculated decision, a life stolen for no reason. But because Kelsey was abducted in one county and the crime actually happened in another, the murder happened in another county, there was jurisdiction complications, and the law enforcement were arguing over who was responsible to investigate, and this delayed proceedings. The abduction happened in Kansas, the murder in Missouri. Eventually, prosecutors offered a deal. The, the, the perpetrator pleaded guilty to avoid the death penalty. So in 2007, he was sentenced to life in prison without parole, which was really good. You would think that somebody of that caliber wouldn't deserve to get out. In court, he apologized, but the apologies didn't heal the families. It seemed empty. Apologies don't bring their daughter home, and apologies don't erase what happened in that parking lot. Kelsey's story didn't end with the trial. Her family began advocating for her emergency access to cell phone data. In their case, investigators found her within minutes of receiving it. They believed time was lost because the phone data was not retrieved for a very long time, for several days. The phone operator refused to relinquish what they knew. Their advocacy helped spark conversation. The parents were an advocate for releasing mobile phone data on request, and they helped spark conversations and changes that happened, actually continues today. But for them, it wasn't about policy. It was about Kelsey, a daughter, a sister, a young woman with dreams of helping animals and healing others, a girl who went out to buy a simple gift and never came back home. So tonight, as the world settles into silence, think about the ordinary moments: a quick errand, a phone call, a parking lot at dusk. They feel small until they aren't. And Kelsey still should be here. She should be laughing, working, building the life that she had just begun. Instead, the story lives on as a reminder, as a warning to all of us. You never know who may be watching. You never know when a predator is hunting. You never know when a normal night can turn into a fatal file. I'm Paula Rose, and this has been Fatal Files. If this story has moved you, share it. Awareness matters. And subscribe and click that notification button to ensure you never miss an episode. And for a full written article, go to medium.com. The links are below. And let's give a thought and a prayer for Kelsey. And as always, stay safe, stay aware, and look out for one another.